Hey guys, this is Drew with Northridge Community Church. A couple videos ago, I had a lot of you guys asking what analyzer program I was using in the church here at Northridge. So I wanted to go ahead and put a small video together of the program, how I have it configured through the X32, and just a little bit more about the program. So the program itself is called Smaart. It's by Rational Acoustics. They have a lot of different versions. This is the newest one. And basically, Smaart is a program that a lot of system tuners, PA aligners, basically anyone who's going into a room or a venue to align and tune a system. And so with Smaart, there's a lot of different functions in it, and I'm just going to touch on the spectrum analyzer, which is the RTA, real-time analyzer, and the Spectrograph. But there's also transfer functions, impulse response, there's a whole bunch of different things like that I'm not going to get into today. So here at Northridge with the volunteers, one really good thing about an RTA program is that you can see when there's a piece of feedback. So say I have a piece of feedback at 2K, and I'm going to go ahead and whistle. So you can see right here that there was a peak. Okay? And so what the RTA does is it puts the audio spectrum from 20 hertz all the way up to 20 kilohertz into a graph, and then puts your volume or magnitude in the upper part. So you can see that anything that's loud is going to be higher than anything that's soft. That's pretty basic. The spectrograph puts the RTA in a time domain. So you can see that it's moving up. So it gives you a couple seconds of kind of history. So you can see that it's still the 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, but now it's taking the volume of the frequencies and puts it into a color. So you can see that purple is quiet, green is kind of normal, and then if I was to whistle again, you'd see that there would be more of a red line. So when you have a piece of feedback, normally it shows up in a red or a white, but the cool thing is it'll show up in one straight line. So if you have a low kind of rumbling piece of feedback that's a little bit harder to hear with your ear, it'll show up in this. So, you know, that sort of thing, as it would be getting more of a feedback. So I'm going to go ahead and play some music and let you guys see how this looks on here. So let's get some music going. So as you can see in here, when the kick drum is hitting, it's nice and low in the 63 hertz range, and all the high end is up here. You'll notice that there's not very much information above 6K and up. Not too many instruments are very loud in that range. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I have this set up in the room. So first off, I'm going to have to pick up my camera to show you guys where the mic, what mic I'm using. So let me go ahead and turn that down all the way. There we go. All right, so you can see all the way down there on the little mic stand, there's a RTA mic. That is the Behringer ECM 8000, and it's just a normal RTA mic. And that is plugging into this Eurorack Pro, so it's a Behringer rack mount mixer, and the microphone itself is going into channel 8. And then I have an output off of the X32 going into channel 910. And so both of these are even, and then they are panned left and right. And then I'm taking the output of this mixer and just plugging it directly into the back of the sound card of my computer, which is a very slow 1 gigahertz single core Intel processor, very basic. Microsoft Windows XP, so really you don't need much of a computer to be able to run Smaart because it's only looking at your RTA. And so then up here, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. You can see that I have my RTA mic and then my board feed. And so if I was to click on the board feed, you would see the board feed on coming up front. So now I'm going to go ahead and play, I'm going to go ahead and pause the RTA mic so you can just see. So this is my board feed. This is what my board is putting out. And then my RTA mic is what my room is listening to. So what's going on in my room. So you can see the blue and the green, and that there's quite a little bit of a difference there. Just in volumes right now. But once we turn the music back up here, now the one thing that I do want to point out is with Smaart, whichever is selected is going to be the thing that is going to be playing down in the spectrograph. So if I was to select my RTA mic here, it would be displaying in the spectrograph my RTA mic. If I was if I clicked on my board feed, that's what's being sent from my board to my speaker system. And that's what's being displayed down in here in the spectrograph. Now another thing that you can do is up in the upper right-hand corner here with our SPL meter. This is, you can run it, you can specify where you want this to be pulled from. I have it coming from my RTA mic because that's always set up in my room. I usually have it placed back towards the wall. It's not very a great spot to have it, but you know, I don't want to take up prime territory for the congregation to have it. But once I had that set up and got all the levels set for putting in my normal volume into the computer without distorting anything, I then can go in and click up here. And let me show you guys down here. We can click Calibrate. And now we can put in Calibration Offset. So you'll have to fiddle around with this a little bit, but then you can get the number in the upper right-hand corner to be correct to an SPL meter. So it's usually good if you have an extra SPL meter laying around. You can use your phone. It'll be plus or minus 1 dB or 2 dB, but it will give you a general sense of how loud your PA system is while you're mixing. And for me up here, being that I am up in the crow's nest, and I don't really have a very good spot on the PA that I'm listening to, having Smaart and having that SPL meter is very important, especially because I don't want to get too loud during a Sunday. So that is a really quick just rundown of how I have Smaart set up. I'm not really going in and teaching you guys how to route inside of Smaart. Maybe if you guys have some questions, I can help you guys out with that. But there's a lot of tutorials out there from Rational Acoustics of how to get this set up. Also, inside of Smaart, you can average things. So we can do like a 1-second average, which basically just averages out the RTA. The spectrograph will not be averaged by this spectrum adjustment right here. So you can have like a 9-second averaging, which will show you kind of how the PA system is looking over a 9-second average. Or you can do none and have it be just instant. And then we can also change our scale to 1/3, 1/6, 1/12, 24th, 1/48. There's a lot of different options. So, hey, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. And very good. Thank you.